My childhood didn't seem any extra special to me. I had a mother and father. Um, Even though they were famous and superstars in the roller derby, which I didn't even realize what that was. I can remember being yelled at and getting spankings and getting in trouble. And earliest things I remember going to the games with my mother and father, and watching people skate and the crowds and the noise and the excitement. And it was fun, but I really didn't think it was extraordinary. I guess maybe because I just grew up there. I didn't know any different. But I can remember the games and the skaters and Ken Monty and Carl Payne and Billy Bogash, Ma Bogash, Midge Tuffy Brazoon. And I found out later on that all those people were extra special people. I didn't even realize that at the time, but they all stick in my mind. I can remember them very well. I remember growing up, I guess one of the first things I remember is playing on the track and being on the track. I was about a year and a half when my first skates were made for me. They were made by one of the old-time skaters, Jack Wilson. And they were made on my baby shoes. I used to play out in the infield when everybody was training in the daytime. My mother used to train all day. So I played, and crawled around in the infield, crawled around on the track. And little by little, I was up on the track and rolling around on it. And by 3, we were doing halftime attractions. I guess you'd say I was already professional. We used to do what they would call diaper derbies then. They were special attractions. Some of the other skaters' kids, there was about 5 or 6 of us. We'd do a little halftime match race for the audience. And for that, we used to get paid, and that was one of the big things. I remember standing in line with the rest of the skaters. We'd stand out there, and they'd set up a card table, and everybody would just wait for their money, and I'd get in line just like everybody else, and I'd get my silver dollar for the match race. I saved them silver dollars for many years. I wish I had them. I don't know what I did with them. They're gone someplace. I think I spent them. After that, I started training more and more, and I don't know, I guess most of the kids that were around that I trained with, boy, they all wanted to be skaters. I don't know, I never really wanted to be a skater. I just thought I was going to be one. I never had to work at it very hard. It was more fun than anything else. It was play. I think all the years that I skated, it was basically play for me. I remember the crowds really never bothered me. I worked as a skate boy. I was out in the infield when I was very young, 14, 12, somewhere around there. And the skaters, a few of the skaters had more trouble with than the crowds. And I remember one of the skaters, Hal Janowitz, coach of the San Diego team, used to come by and flip me with a towel all the time, and that used to really upset me. But, you just have to keep on going along. And I got even with him one time. I went in the dressing room and took his shoes and put him in the shower and turned the shower on him, and I took his watch out. He used to keep a $200 gold watch in his shoe. He used to hide it in there, and I took his shoe out, so he took his watch out of his shoes, and he didn't know it, and he came in and seen his shoes all wet under the shower, and oh man, he come unglued. He was highly upset about it. And after I showed him the watch, then it was a big joke, and everything went over fine. And you start to become friends with the skaters, even though you've been watching them. Had been watching them all those years and being around them, and you find out that everybody, they're just all people, skaters and fans, and they're really, I would say none of the skaters are extra special or extraordinary. They just have a little bit different job than the average person. After working skate boy and everything, I finally realized, yeah, I did want to be a skater. I guess I realized that I always wanted to, but never really thought anything about it because I just thought I was going to be there. So when I was 16, I finally had a chance to go on a team, and it was a little bit difficult because of my age, and I had to get special work permits, and I couldn't work after 10 o'clock at night, and I couldn't use my real name. The office didn't want me to be associated with my parents because they were famous and didn't want any special privileges to go towards me. In other words, if I was going to make it, I had to make it on my own. And well, anyway, I said, what the heck, I want to try anyway. The thrill of it all, I guess, you just have to do it and have to try. So anyway, in 1957, 58, I started skating, and I went on a team with Ken Monty, one of my favorites. I always idolized Kenny and always wanted to skate with him, and I wanted to skate like him. And at the time, he was coach of the Brooklyn Red Devils. And my first season, I skated under Ken Monty on the Brooklyn Red Devils, and I skated with an assumed name. I used Mike Paul that year. And now, at the end of that season, 1958, I went into New York with my parents, and I won Rookie of the Year that year. And all of a sudden, I became famous overnight, so to speak. The office decided to let me use my real name and capitalize off the fact that I was a second-generation skater, and I started doing a lot of newspaper interviews and TV, and, oh, God, just all kinds of doors opened up for me. And, oh, one of the, like I say, my big thing in 1958 was my Rookie of the Year award, and there was a lot of competition that year for that award. Skaters like Bob Woodbury and Frankie Macedo and Ronnie Robinson, Dave Battersby, Buddy Atkinson Jr. We all trained together, actually, and Buddy and I went on the same team, but most all the other kids went on different teams, and they were all good. Everybody was good, and I was just fortunate to be able to have won that. It was quite exciting for me, that particular award. So many other things that have happened to me over the years, and traveling. God, we traveled all the time. And that's one thing about roller derby. You do travel an awful lot. And we stay in hotels most of the time, and, on the East Coast, they mainly hotels, rather, and there's not too much to do there. We lay out on the roofs and get a little sun if possible, or stick our heads out the windows and yell back and forth at each other. But boy, by the time we hit California, it would really be good out here. The weather was nice. And motels always had swimming pools, playgrounds. We go up and take over the playgrounds. You'd think there was a bunch of kids out there. They were just skaters, relaxing, enjoying themselves. But in California, I don't know. I guess it seems like every motel out here had a swimming pool, and we used to just lay around the pool all day and just really, really enjoy it. And we worked in the evening most of the time, so we had more sun time and could lay around and enjoy ourselves. And most of our traveling, in the 60s, we traveled by car, and then a little bit later on, we started traveling by plane and by bus. And there's one of the things traveling by car, well, at least when you get to a town, you could have transportation to get somewhere and do something. And one of the things I remember when we used to go down to Charlotte, North Carolina, we got a chance to go down to the Charlotte 500 racetrack. And I actually drove one of the race cars around for a little while, and that was about 125 miles an hour. That's going pretty good. That's a little exciting. That's one of the things about roller derby. It did offer a lot of things, and with all the traveling, and it's just that was just part of it. The crowds and the people. And one thing I used to really like, was a little off time. I used to come home. That was probably one of the my favorite things, is to be able to relax and to come home. And I made California my home. I guess because of the weather, and whenever I did kind of shut down and be home, there was always skaters around. You associate mainly with skaters, whether you're working or you're not. And, they were always over at the house, and we had a pool in the backyard, and I was just always splashing around, and barbecues. And Larry and Francine Smith, another married couple, they used to be over all the time. And Don Drury, one of the announcers for the San Francisco team, he was over quite a bit. And it was, I don't know, I guess my whole life, other than skating, I guess I play around in the water a lot. I enjoy it. It's very relaxing. But it's play, just like skating is. The trips that we did in the United States were they were all exciting, but our overseas trips, I remember one in Mexico. The first time I went down into Mexico, they come down to pick us up to take us to the building, and they showed up with a school bus of all things, and we got piled into this school bus to go down to the game. But it don't matter whether you're a school bus or Greyhound bus. It was all fun. It was exciting. And dirt roads, man, bouncing along in a school bus on a dirt road. I said, but I did love Mexico. It was enjoyable. I really did. It might not sound like it, but I did enjoy it. And Japan, God, I really loved Japan. It was really, really different over there. The food, the people, the kids, man. I just love those kids over there. They're also neat and orderly and quiet. Man, they don't bother nobody. They all have their little uniforms on, and they march to school. And it was not like when I went to school, a whole bunch of rowdy kids running around. You know, they were really something different to see. I guess out of all the places, no, I guess Hawaii would probably be my favorite. I lived in Hawaii for a while. I went to school over there for a little while, and when I went back and skated over there, I skated on the Hawaiian team, and oh gosh, it was just right. I was right back in my element, the water again, and I got a chance to surf. Got a chance to learn how to surf. I became a fairly good surfer after the years, but I think that just playing in the water and doing the games at night, and actually one year I went over and we camped on the beach for 15 weeks. I took all my skin diving equipment and our tents, and we set up camp and went right to the game from the beach, and we'd come home at night and set up our Coleman stove and cook dinner, and we had a Coleman lanterns, and we had quite a setup over there. We got in a little bit of trouble for it, but it was fun. It was really enjoyable, and it was different. And that's one of the things about roller derby that has given me a chance to do so many different things and be in so many different places and see different things and different people. And I think my whole life has been a little different than the average life, and I know I wouldn't want to change any part of it. Roller derby has been very good to me, and I do love it. And I would never change any part of my life. And if I had it to do all over again, I probably would train a little bit harder and be a little bit better skater so I could enjoy myself a little bit better. But roller derby is fantastic, and it's treated me well.